Hey, what's going on, everyone? We're going to get started in about 2 minutes. If you guys can hear me, type something inside the chat. Yo, Marquis, you can hear me?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get started in about 1 minute. All right, let's get started. Um, this is the first night session of the week. You guys, if it's your first time here, pretty much what we do, same thing for all the sessions. We pretty much we look at potential setups going into you know, the next session. Like right now, we look at potential setups going to the London session. And if we have some potential setups, we can enter them now. Or if we see something that's setting up, what I do is I pretty much get back up, London session and wait for everything to play out, and then I send a signal out. All right. There's a few pairs I am paying attention to this week. Um, let me look at something real quick. See what some of these other pairs are doing. All right. So let's get into it. It's 11:40 at night. I don't want to keep you guys on here too long, especially if you plan on getting up London session with me. I don't do live sessions for London. Maybe I will start that, in the near future. We started that in the beginning, and there just wasn't a lot of people getting on. And sometimes with London session, it really wouldn't, the trades, the markets wouldn't really set up until later on and during the London session. So you can't really pick a time when to come online and start trading. You only can start trading once the market shows you its hand. So let's check out a few pairs real quick. I already know what I want to look at. I want to see what else is out there. All right. Paying attention to the GBP pairs this week. Later on in the week, I'm going to be looking at USD pairs because we do have non-farm payroll. If you don't know what non-farm payroll is, it's pretty much one of the biggest news releases that happens the first Friday of each month. Um, if you are a new trader, I advise to stay away from it. The markets go crazy. All right. If you do not want to take a chance and risk anything in your account, stay away. It's really no problem to just sit back and watch, especially if we catch a bunch of pips between Sunday and Thursday. Um, you can end up giving it all back within one trade. Messing with NFP Friday. News comes out Friday, 8:30 in the morning. Um, I've seen this before. You could get 100 pip spike in one direction, and then 1 minute later, it could drop 150 pips back in the opposite direction. So you can really mess your account up. But let's see. If I do have some clear setups, then we can enter a trade and see what happens. If we do catch a bunch of pips before then, we can afford to risk a little bit back. All right, so right now, let's look at GBP pairs. This is GBP USD. Let it load up. All right, what you have here is GBP USD on a 4-hour chart. Let me zoom in. If you look at this right here, this area right here, this last red line was the low from Brexit. And Brexit happened back on June 23rd. We've seen prices coming back in this direction. Hold on. You guys see my chart now?
Yeah.
I don't know why it does that. It was on in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, what we have here is GBP USD. Like I said, this red line at the bottom was the Brexit lows. We wanted price to test these areas and see what was going to happen. Now, price broke this first one, came down and broke the second. Now, there is no support down there. All right, we zoomed out. I even went to a high time frame. I went to the monthly chart. And this is going back to 1994. Price has not been this low. So if you look to the left, you don't really see, you don't really see anything over there. There's some chart missing, but all right. So yeah, price has not been this low. I'm all the way back to 1995 right now. It has not been that low. So this is what I am expecting with GBP USD. I will scroll back over. The 1-hour chart. All right. So remember, this red line was the that last low that we had. So what I am expecting is one or two things. Me personally, I believe, trying to zoom in, you guys already know what happens when I get on the live sessions. This thing doesn't want to act right. What I'm expecting is right now, price is currently just bear with me for a second. Price is currently right here. I'm expecting price to come back up, maybe to this area, back up to retest this red line, and then drop again. If that happens, I'm looking for a big drop. All right. If price comes back up here and closes above this red line, hold on, let me see something. This is pretty much what I'm looking for. Price come up here to this line, not break, and then drop. All right. The opposite will be price to come up to this line, break it, come back down to retest this line, and then go back up. So right now we're being patient and we're letting the market make its move. We are not going to enter right now. Even though price can drop right now, if that happens, hey, we miss it. We're catching the next retracement. But you want to enter trades off of pullbacks and retest of support resistant areas. So that's what we're going to do. All right. So that's what I'm looking at for GBP USD going into London session. Like I said, if it does come up here and retest and drop, I'm looking for a big drop. Let's go to 15-minute chart real quick. If price does not go back up to that line, but price sets up an M formation, I would be taking a sell also. All right. So we got some potential moves with GBP USD either way. Just have to. Nothing's gonna happen right now. Everything's gonna happen London session. All right. So that's one pair right there, and I strongly believe we can at least get a good, probably a good 50 to 100 pips just out of that move. Tomorrow. All right. So let's see what happens. Like I said, there's no support down there. So if it does drop heavy, it has to create new support before it goes back up. Now, another thing that is happening is, like I said, it's NFP week. Price can come back up a little bit and prepare for the USD for NFP. So far, all the reports I've been reading saying that USD should be strong for NFP. So let's see what's going on. This is another GBP pair. This is GBP NZD. Let's go back on the 4-hour chart. All right, zoom in a little bit. All right, let's look at the daily. That's the week. All right, let me see if I can zoom. All right, so this area right here was a Brexit low. This right here was a Brexit low. And then price broke past that, came down, dropped another. What's that? 80.41 to 79.84. Another 60 pips before it started to go back up. So I'm pretty much going to see what this pair is going to do also. GBP NZD. I really don't trade it that much. But if we are given the opportunity, yeah, I definitely would trade it. It did bounce off that low that it created, the new support area, and rose up about 200 pips. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About the past 24 hours, something like that. So most of these pairs kind of do move alike. So we can expect this also with GBP USD. We can expect another push up. The only difference is GBP USD and GBP NZD is two different pairs. This is NZD. We're talking about the USD right now. The USD is kind of strong. All right. So that's the only difference also. So we'll pay attention to that. GBP JPY. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. Me personally, I don't like the way this looks right now. I'll have to see a clear setup. Something have to happen. The only thing I can see right here is this line right here at 130. What's that? 131.15. Well, I'm gonna move that up a little bit. About 130 looks like a resistance area lately. So if price can break above that, we're gonna look to take that up about 100 pips. So always, whenever we're looking for a break out of a certain area, you always want it to break and then retest. All right, you always want it to break and retest. Same thing here. If it comes down here and breaks down here, then that's about another 100 pips in the opposite direction. So let's just wait and see what this is going to do also. Like I told you guys earlier, I do have some potential setups, but you can't rush into it. You have to let the market make its move before you get into any trades. Like remember last week, we really didn't trade until Wednesday, and we had one of our biggest weeks. All right. So that's GBP JPY. I feel comfortable trading that pair. GBP USD. I feel comfortable with that pair. Let's find one more at least. So that's GBP AUD. All right, 4-hour chart. Broke the Brexit lows. Let's see, broke the Brexit lows. Went up. All right, this is what I mean when I say break and retest. All right, check this out. Zoom. Let's go to the 1-hour chart. You can see it clearly. Man, we missed a nice setup a couple hours ago. About 8 o'clock at night, it gave us the M setup. Definitely would have sold that if I would have seen it. All right, so this is what happened. This was the low. Price broke, came down, went back up to retest it. Then what happened from there? Drop. It's a big drop. 67.40 to about 66.10. So that's about a 130 pip drop. From there, it went back up, retest again, dropped down, went back up to retest with the M setup, and then from there it dropped 67.40 to 66.70. So about 70 pips. All right. So that's what I mean when I say break and retest. It broke this area, went back up to test it, dropped again. We'd have got this big drop, we'd have been out of it. But like I said, we'd have seen this happen, we definitely would have been selling again. Perfect M setup. So night's still early. Price can come back up and retest. These GBP pairs, they move a lot, so it's nothing for it to come back up 70 pips again and retest this area. If it comes back, retest this area, does not break it, then we are going to sell. We are going to sell, and we're going to look to take it back down into this area down here. If it does break, if it does come back up here and break, remember, it's going to come back down, retest, and we're going to take it back up. Probably up into this area up here. All right, let's go to GBP CAD real quick. All right, let me zoom out and see. All right, GBP CAD has not come down to these low areas. Can it? I believe it can. Will it? Not. It's not guaranteed. All the other GBP pairs came down to retest the Brexit low areas. Some of them move faster than the others. There is a chance this can come down here. Right now it's at 67.80. 67.80, and this is 60, 65, 66. So about 180 pips. Let's see what's looking like in a smaller time frame. And we are not going to just assume it's gonna go down there and just take a sell. That's not traded. You have to react on what the markets are doing. Zoom real quick. All right, so yeah, it will need to break at least. It had to break at least the 67, 60 area before I would even think about selling this. So, I mean, I can watch it, but I'm not really spend too much time on it. GBP AUD, I want to see how that plays out. GBP JPY, GBP USD. All right. Let's look at USD Swiss franc real quick. And then we're gonna leave it at that for the night. And I'll be back up on the London session and looking for some setups for us to take place. USD Swiss franc is pretty much the opposite of Euro USD and GBP USD. So if Euro's strong and the pound is strong, that means USD Swiss franc. If GBP USD, Euro USD is strong, that means USD Swiss franc should be weak. 4-hour chart. Zoom. Price is pretty much ranging in a certain area. This is why I don't really like trading this pair also. It moves slow. It takes forever to, get some pips out of here. When it finally does move, you might get, 50 pips, 60 pips out of it. So, yeah, leave that alone. I'm not even gonna mess with that. And USD JPY. These are some of the pairs I'm gonna be looking at later on in the week to trade NFP. So I'm just seeing what they're looking like now, so I can prepare for later. All right, let's see if USD continues to stay strong for the rest of this week, or is it going to pull back, for the next day or two until Friday. So, we pretty much got our setups. The setups I just gave you guys, we could cash out a lot of pips, just to be patient and get the right entry. And that's pretty much it. I'm not going to hold you guys up any longer. Yeah, this pair, I don't know what's wrong with it. Everybody been waiting 2 months for this pair to drop. This pair seems like it's never going to drop. And I don't trade this pair either because it's kind of slow. But if the pound is definitely going to fall, then this pair is going to definitely keep rising. Let's see what happens with that. See if it comes up here, hits the top of this line, and then not break and drop, come back down. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys go. You guys have a good night. I will be up about 3 a.m. Eastern time to trade the London session. And hold on. Let me check one more thing. Smaller time frame. I'll be up to trade the London session, and when I do get the trade signals, I'll always send them out on Telegram. If you do take a trade during London session, try to stay awake because there might be times where I might say just close before it hits take profit or anything. All right. I'll see you guys. Talk to you guys a little later. We have another session at 9:30 a.m. We will discuss our trades we spoke about on this session, and we discuss any other trades that we took during London and look for more setups for New York session. All right, everyone have a good night.